Hi, my name is Brenda Titus, and thank you for joining me for my Year Recovery of Retinal Detachment video series. This is the 23rd video in my series, and today we'll be talking about the second cataract surgery. If you haven't seen my prior videos, I definitely recommend that you go back and you check those out because I am kind of telling each part of the journey through each separate video. If you're particularly interested in the cataract part of the journey, that starts at video 21. Now, as a reminder, I'm not a medical professional, so everything that I'm sharing really truly is my own personal experience. And I'm not, here to provide any, medical advice. It's just to share my own experience and hope that it can help other people. So on my last video, I talked about kind of, the information leading up to cataract surgery. And I shared, that the first cataract surgery went really well. And I felt pretty positive about it. And I was so thrilled to at least have some improvement. So it was very I felt very positive actually leaving that situation, especially because it was so quick that quickly I could tell my vision would be different. I believe was improved. So actually, I think it was the day after. So we had a follow-up appointment the next morning. And so after that follow-up appointment, we actually went to the grocery store to pick up some milk or something like that. And this song, Suddenly I See, was on. Suddenly I See. And I was I was dancing and I was so incredibly happy and thankful and just feeling very positive. And in fact, as much as I was so scared of this surgery, I said from minute one that I could not wait to go back to the second one because that was how I felt about it. I just said, you know what? Bring it. Let's do this. And I do really understand that, I'm not alone in that fear of cataract surgery. My hairdresser was telling me about somebody who was very adamant. They were so afraid of their cataract surgery that they convinced the doctors to do both on the same day, which is very unheard of, because there is something to be said for that time in between to recover. Now, one thing that I just realized I didn't share in my last video that I want to talk about is eye drops. I did not have to talk about eye drops because I didn't have to use eye drops. And that is a unique part of my experience. So I actually got a lot of tips, a lot of advice, a lot of input from friends and family who had experienced cataract surgery and having to go through these stages of the eye drops. And I kind of said, oh, I will be fine. I've already been through 2 vitrectomies. And with the vitrectomy, you do have, for the first week, you have 2 eye drops for 4 times a day, then 3 times a day, 2, 1. So I wasn't terribly concerned about that. Except that one of my friends reminded me that during the vitrectomy, they were 6 months apart, those 2 surgeries for the retinal detachments. But with the cataract surgery, you're doing them closer together. So you might be having, if you had your surgery 2 or 3 weeks apart, you'd be having one eye would have drops every 4 hours or 4 times a day, and drops in the other eye would be 3 or 2 times a day. And so it really was a lot. My mom told me she made a spreadsheet for hers. And so, but I didn't really think about it until I asked them, the day after my surgery. I said, okay, so where's my drops? And it turns out that my doctor does a particular procedure that is dropless cataract surgery. And so I didn't have to use drops. Now, prepare for a visual that to me is creepy, but I'm thankful for it. they they put it in your eye. So they like put all the whatever's necessary, they inject it into your eye during the procedure. And so then because of that, it just kind of takes the place of those eye drops. Now, I'm glad I didn't know the first time that that was what happened. And everything went really, really well. So I'm, like I said, very, very thankful. I spent the next 3 weeks very much looking forward to my second surgery. I could tell that my vision wasn't still, you know, the other eye was very poor. There were times when I was out in public and my husband was there but was far enough away, but somebody was walking towards me and I didn't know if it was him or not. And I said to my friends, is that my husband? And they said, no, it's not. And I said, oh, okay. And another time later in the day, we were all talking and literally one of my closest friends was sitting 10 feet away and I didn't recognize him. So I admit my vision was terrible during that time. So I had one eye that was getting better, that could see better, but that other eye had the cataract and it was very bad. So like I said, I was the first person to say I could not wait until that second surgery. And so I think it was about 3 weeks, maybe 4. I went in and I had my second surgery, and again, everything was fine. I got that great, you know, that picture light show with the lasers in my eye, and they did a great job distracting me again. It turns out, actually, on a later talk with my doctor, she said, you know, that she was kind of nervous about, you know, I'd been so clear with her about my anxiety and my fear, and she kind of said, well, I was a little worried about you. And then she said, and you did great. She said, now there was somebody else that was there, and she said, well, I was a little worried about, you know, this other person, but you did amazing. So that is one of the things that I will recommend to people is, number one, obviously do your own work, be prepared. If you have any concerns about your like feeling confined or anxious, nervous, not comfortable being in control, if you have, like, some people have issues like going to the dentist or, you know, things like that, if you already know maybe you have some concerns about the experience of the surgery, I definitely recommend talking to your doctor so that they are prepared and so they can support you through that. And then I definitely recommend doing your own work to prepare for it as well. I will add a link to the person that I bought a hypnosis recording from that helped me quite a bit. I mean, I had done a lot of work that was in addition to that, but it really just kind of helped put my mind into a different mindset to be able to do the procedure. So if you have any issues around being, you know, confined or not in control or anything like that, I definitely recommend doing some work on for that, because it is required that you be awake for that surgery. Now, again, I said that my doctor, they do a very good job of keeping you distracted. They did awesome, and so I think this time it was it was a week before Thanksgiving. And so they were, you know, chatty about Christmas lights and Thanksgiving. You know, they were going to be having a Thanksgiving party at the office, you know, later that week or what have you. And so that did, like I said, kept my brain kind of over here so that, you know, whatever they were doing. And I should add that actually the actual procedure is very, very fast. I understand that there were so many times people told me, don't worry about it, it's really fast. And I said, that does not matter. It doesn't matter how fast it is. But it is actually true. Now I can say, having experienced it, that it is a pretty fast procedure, and they, you know, they want to get you through. They want you to be successful. Now, I mentioned a few minutes ago about the drops and the injection. And I think I had a harder time with the injection, with the second procedure. And I don't know why. Maybe because I didn't know the first time that that was going to happen, but I definitely know that I remember, kind of the, either if it was that the anesthesia was just getting right to that place where it was starting to wear off or what, but I noticed the syringe and the sensation around that, and I didn't really like it. But they were really good about saying it's okay. I think I was saying ow, 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 and they said it's okay, this is just the medicine we're putting in your eye, and it was fine, it was okay. I didn't like how it felt, but and it kind of just bothered me a little bit more. Like the next couple of days, it was a little bit more irritating than I remembered the first time, but it was fine. It was really okay. So definitely something to check into as you're talking to your doctor. I think that my doctor, her complete specialization is cataract surgery. I think she might do kind of a couple of other side parts associated, but like I said, she's specially trained in being able to use this dropless procedure. So it's something to just kind of talk to your doctor about as well. And before I wrap up, I actually just kind of wanted to share one kind of additional part. So I've mentioned before that cataract surgery is a very, very common surgery. I think a lot of people experience it. It's a very regular, everyday, kind of a thing. And so I don't know about other people's experience, but I had the medical group that I'm working with. They actually have their own like little surgery center that is specific for like that's what they do, cataract things right there. And so that was actually really neat because literally, with my other surgeries, it was at a surgery center and they were doing all different kinds of things in that same surgery center. But in this one, it was all cataracts, everybody that was there. So it was kind of like this assembly line kind of going through, and so it helped for me because I think that it felt like very efficient in how they were processing people. I think everybody that was there with me on that same day, everybody was there on their second eye as opposed to like somebody who was on their first eye, and so just kind of, helpful, interesting things to be keeping in mind. So I'm going to finish up today's video with that information. And I really hope that everything that I've been sharing is helpful for you in terms of preparing for whether it's for yourself or somebody that you care about, and whether it's for cataract surgery or retinal detachment and cataracts, and even thinking about ways that you can get help for some of the preparation and healing recovery. Now, in the next video, I'm going to be talking further about the ongoing recovery, and especially, again, that getting back to life after now, gosh, that will have been the fourth surgery that I'd had in about 10 months. So I'll be talking a little bit about what the changes in vision are, and just like I said, getting back to life. It wasn't really instantaneous for me, just as I'm, processing and dealing with the changes associated with all of it. And so I'm going to share that on my next video. So with that, I wish you a wonderful day, and I hope that you join me next time. Have a great day.